All right, Alex, thanks a lot for the weather update. Glad you're with us, by the way. We've got to get through 4 headlines of the week in 4 minutes. The clock is already ticking, so let's begin. We start with a bit of a different monument debate. Here's headline number 4. The landscape of Bears Ears National Monument has served as a vital resource for thousands of years to those living in southeastern Utah. According to the U.S. Forest Service, Bears Ears, which sprawls across more than 1.3 million acres, acts as a home to animal and plant life. Tribes have been able to collect plants and firewood within the monument, and over the past 200 years, ranchers, miners, Mormon pioneers, and homesteaders have traveled within the area. Under the authority of the Antiquities Act, President Donald Trump signed 2 presidential proclamations that will shrink Bears Ears by 85%, as well as Grand Staircase Escalante by 50%. The president responding to what he has condemned as a massive federal land grab and an important move for, quote, states' rights. Now, in December, shortly before leaving office, former President Obama irritated Utah Republicans by creating the Bears Ears National Monument, sacred to Native Americans and home to tens of thousands of archaeological sites, including ancient cliff dwellings. Well, Minnesota Senator Al Franken is resigning amid multiple sexual misconduct allegations. Here's headline number 3. Once a rising star in the Democratic Party, Franken made the announcement in a speech Thursday on the Senate floor. The 2-term lawmaker has repeatedly apologized as several women stepped forward to accuse him of sexually inappropriate behavior, from groping to forcibly trying to kiss them. But a fresh allegation on Wednesday unleashed a wave of Democratic demands that Franken step aside. Women senators led the chorus. During his resignation speech, Senator Al Franken specifically called out President Trump and his past, including the Access Hollywood tape, saying, quote, "I am leaving while a man who has bragged on tape about his history of sexual assault sits in the Oval Office, and a man who repeatedly preyed on young girls campaigns for the Senate with the full support of his party. But this decision is not about me, it's about the people of Minnesota," Franken said. Well, the first allegation surfaced on November 16th. All right, are you ready to have some fun? The holidays might be jolly, but it's not a holly jolly time for work productivity. Here's headline number 2. Employers and bosses who expect their employees to put in a dedicated effort in the weeks leading up to the holidays might be in for a rude awakening. A new study from HR data analysis company Pekin finds that most employees are checked out by mid-December. About 6 in 10 workers say their productivity noticeably declines in the week before Christmas, which suggests workplace efficiency will start to noticeably falter on December 18th. The holidays are increasingly pushing earlier, thanks partly to those retailers kicking off Black Friday sales before the traditional day after Thanksgiving start date. About 1/3 of employees said they get distracted because they've got too much to plan for on Christmas Day. I mean, come on, bosses. What did they expect? It's Christmas time. It's not like you got news anchors reading the news in slippers or something. No low productivity here. All right. Well, here's the number 1 headline. Let's get to some serious news now. Now, guys, I want you to bear with me back there. I've got to take my time with this one. A little dramatic, I know, but this story is dramatic. The slew of high-profile sexual harassment cases in Hollywood, media, politics, and everywhere has led many working men to ask themselves these questions. Is there anything I've done in the workplace that could be considered harassment, or do I need to walk on eggshells now when working with women colleagues? Well, the answer to those questions aren't as complicated as you might think. Just be a decent, respectable human being to all your coworkers. Now, in this headline, I've looked up some key tips from workplace and sexual harassment experts to help keep things professional. Number 1, worried about saying the wrong thing? Well, relax. You don't have to be nervous simply having a conversation with a lady colleague. According to Lynn Taylor, a workplace expert and author, when in doubt, ask yourself, does what I'm about to say further the productivity of the office? She said you always want to be friendly, but don't test the limits. Here's the second tip. Don't let fear of harassment complaints interfere with you mentoring women in the workplace. Some men are becoming less likely to mentor women, fearing that one-on-one interaction could be misinterpreted by others and lead to gossip. Number 3, your workplace isn't Tinder. Don't start figuratively swiping to actively look for your future partner at the office. Consensual relationships between two coworkers who truly dig each other happen. Please believe me, they do. That said, don't be on the prowl at the workplace. And number 4, keep it professional at office parties and after hours events too. Number 5, if you see a colleague behaving in an inappropriate way, do something about it. Well, there you have it. From appropriate workplace conduct to the latest in politics, plus a story on no holiday mojo in the office. I'd say we covered it all for the week. But hey, be sure to join me next week. I'll be counting down a new list of interesting stories and headlines that everyone is talking about. More Sunrise after the break.